Welcome to Divination with your host, Louisa Brown. Get deep into divination and learn the true old ways. From crystal balls to tarot and much more, only on Divination.
Okay. Hi, I'm just in the middle of sharing. Over to the group. Who's here?
Hi.
Right, that's that done. Get rid of that. So, what are you laughing at?
Transition.
Oh, you're laughing at yourself. Bless him. So, how is everybody on this fine Thursday? It's a Thursday. Hope everyone's doing well. Just remove this. Yeah. Just give it a little bit just for people to pop on. I've got a few on already.
Hi, people.
Hi, people.
Why is it when I pick one of my books? I love the simple.
None of your books are simple, honey. Right, so, oh, I got Annette saying hi. Hey, Annette. I've got Jenny on. Hey, hey.
Hey.
Why are you dancing? You
I
perked up.
don't know. My headache's gone that much that I think it's just fright.
Okay. Right then. So, she's got it. Yeah, so what we're going to do this week is we are going to, hi dog, look at automatic writing. And the dog has just literally just plonked herself on my lap. Right, fine. So, as per usual, got my printouts, got some pictures, got my research. Again, disclaimer, I am not an expert. This is just research that I've done. Anyone can do. I'm just presenting it to you because it's interesting. Well, I think so. Do you think so?
Yeah.
Thanks. But yeah. So let's have a look. Yeah, so the technical word for someone who does automatic writing is autonographists. This is where the person holds the pen directly in their hand. There is another form of automatic writing where something else holds the pen and you touch this. Such as you can get a large planchette, probably seen them around, which holds the pen and moves on wheels. Automatic writing is also known as independent writing, direct writing, or spirit writing. Some of you will have seen or used automatic writing on paranormal investigations, but you can also use automatic writing for divination. For this purpose, it falls under the category of motor automatism, where the deep mind brings forward information to the everyday awareness by taking control of the body below the level of consciousness. So you're in a kind of meditation or trance, which allows the subconscious to take over. This is similar to other forms of divination that I've covered, such as mirrors, crystal balls, and water, where you don't want to focus and just let your mind relax and wander. The moment you focus on the writing and the message, it will stop. Oh, and none of us always, indeed. And Christina's on. Hi, Christina.
Hi, Christina. I hope you're well now.
Some people like to have conversations with other people in the room while they write subconsciously. And if you do have another person in the room, you don't have to talk to them, but they can be useful. They can keep an eye on you while you're in your relaxed state, and they can also supply more paper if you fill up the sheets you already have. Christine says, good evening to Lou and Ben. The first time you try it, you might feel like you're waiting forever for something to happen. I find it difficult to calm the mind and feel under pressure, especially when anyone is around. Like, I tried it on group paranormal investigations at a location, but it's just really distracting. Other people work differently, but I myself, I just find it, my mind's just not switching off. It's too busy thinking about what else is happening around, and are people looking at me? What's going on? Am I going to get everything? And I just get stressed and it don't work. Don't stress. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah. Others may feel like nothing is happening, but when they open their eyes, there's writing or a drawing. It's just a case of practicing with different techniques and testing which works best for you. If, however, you are trying this and your arm moves strongly and suddenly, which can happen, you should try to remain calm. I'll just separate the sheets a second. I've got a blank sheet of paper. Printer that is. Oh, Mark's on. Hello. So it is said the medium William Stainton Moses used to hold a pen in his left hand and to write the message, while at the same time writing normally with his right hand. Stainton Moses described his first experience with automatic writing. My right arm was seized. I should get you to do like the voices. It's okay. My right arm was seized about the middle of the forearm and dashed violently up and down with a noise resembling that of a number of pavers at work. It was the most tremendous exhibition of unconscious muscular action I ever saw. In vain I tried to stop it. I distinctly felt the grasps, soft and firm, round my arm, and though perfectly possessed of senses and volition, I was powerless to interfere, although my hand was disabled for some days by the bruising it then got. The object, we soon found, was to get up the force. What he means by get up the force is to establish who is in control of the subconscious, like who is using the arm. Who's that that's saying hello through the other dimension? Is that Ben or is that Damon? That'd be Damon. I didn't know if Ben was sneaking in. Hi, Damon. I got hi, Kate. Yeah. Obviously, from his account, it would seem there was a strong spirit there who, for whatever reason, wanted to be in control. I would say an encounter like this will be quite rare, and perhaps judging by his reputation, which we shall go into, a false account. So, let's have a look at this guy, William Stainton Moses, 1839 to 1892. Was an English cleric and spiritualist. He promoted spirit photography and automatic writing, and co-founded what became the College of Psychic Studies. The automatic writings of Moses began to appear in his books, Spirit Teachings and Spirit Identity. These dated back to between 1872 and 1883 and filled 24 notebooks. All but one have been preserved by the London Spiritualist Alliance. Oh, Jet's on. Hi, Jeanette. Oh, I'll just put a big comment up. Bear with. Let's go. I do apologise, I'm a little late, but can automatic writing, can that also be due to channeling spirit, whether it be demonic, we'll call it that, or not? In other words, I think it's free will through spirit, but it's not controlled. Yeah, that's I don't know if I mentioned that yet or not, but yeah, they say that automatic writing, it can be like spirit taking control, which possibly was happening when Stainton Moses gave his first description, where he's got like the hand grasping his arm when he was like writing. Yeah, you can get that, or you can. Some people will just be their subconscious, but what is the subconscious? Is it their subconscious, or is it a spirit interfering with the subconscious? It's Damon. So I'm late. It was nice and hot, so I lost track of time. No worries. Moses published Psychography, a treatise on one of the objective forms of psychic or spiritual phenomena in 1878, and in it he coined the term psychography for the concept of channeling messages from the dead via automatic writing. Moses was one of the first vice presidents of the Society for Psychical Research. Other early members include Frederick W. H. Myers, and we'll mention him again later, Henry Sidgwick, and Edmund Gurney. Writings of Moses brought quite a bit of attention from both the public and scientists who wanted to study him and his methods, and to discover if he was actually communicating with spirits. Been bitten up by the dog's tail. Communicating with spirits, or just using his knowledge and memory to fake it. Psychologist Theodore Fleury wrote that before admitting a supernatural explanation for the automatic writings of Moses, this is quote, "We must first of all be sure that he himself was not capable of elaborating them subconsciously. To my mind, he was quite capable." Many of Moses' statements about ancient history have since proven to be false. What we've got, picking up on vibrations through energy and channeling, even will be my guess. Same way as brainwaves are literally just energy. Moses performed in dark conditions with only a small select circle of friends. He did not allow psychical researchers to attend his seances and refused to be tested.
Marlon, shut up.
The psychical researcher Frank Podmore, sorry about the pup. Oh, we've got Jacqueline as well. Hi.
Short.
Sorry I'm late. No worries. Nice to have you along. Psychical researcher Frank Podmore wrote, "It seems reasonable to conclude that all the marvels reported at Moses' seances were, in fact, produced by the medium's own hands, that it was he who tilted the table and produced the rasps, that the scents, the seed pearls, and the Parian statuettes were brought into the room in his pockets, and the spirit's lights were, in fact, nothing more than bottles of phosphorized oil. Nor would the feats described have required any special skill on the medium's part." And obviously there is just talking about other things that this guy did in his seances, not just the automatic writing. The first documented instance of cryptomnesia occurred in 1874 with Moses. After his described spiritual contact with a pair of dead Indian brothers matched a newspaper report from the week before, and despite his claimed communication, he could ascertain no details not given in the report. Researchers concluded that Moses had read the story, but forgotten that he had read it, instead mistaking the partial memory for a message from the spirit world. So, I've got my photos. So, this guy, easy final by that photo there. So, that's the guy there, Moses, William Moses. That's supposed to be the photo of a spirit. Why is my light just gone like that on the camera? That's just weird. But yeah, does that look like a spirit to you guys? Looks more like someone dressed up to me.
I've seen people like that.
And then we've got another one, an alleged spirit photograph featuring Stanhope Templeman Spear. He's going to be the guy that's sitting when I show it to you. And William Stanton Moses standing with his spirit control rector. So, one guy there, Stanton Moses there standing, and that's his spirit. What do we think? So, guy famous for his automatic writings, possibly didn't actually get the communication from spirits, but just from information that he had and was pretending. Who knows? Well, if judging by the photos, I'd say it's more likely to be a little bit fake. Next, another interesting person to look at in the history of automatic writing is Geraldine Cummings. She was born in 1890 and died in 1969. She began working as a medium and received alleged messages from her spirit guide Astor, and was an advocate of automatic writing. She wrote books based on these communications. In 1928, she published The Scripts of Cleophas, which provided channeled material on early Christian history, complementing Acts of the Apostles and St. Paul's writings. Oh my God, just look at these comments. Sorry. Jeanette says, never done to me. Jacqueline, dodgy ass. Yeah. St. Paul's writings supposed to have been communicated by the spirit of Cleophas, one of, oh, my page is getting mixed up, never mind, Paul's followers. This was later supplemented by Paul in Athens, written in 1930, and the Great Days of Ephesus, in 1933. Cummins then went on to write books that described human progress through spiritual enlightenment. The Road to Immortality, in 1932, provided a vision of the afterlife. Its contents were said to have been communicated from the other side by the psychologist and psychic researcher Frederick W. H. Myers. Unseen Adventures, in 1951, was a spiritual autobiography. She also published several books of spiritually derived knowledge about the details of the life of Jesus. During World War II, it is said she worked as a British agent, using her personal contacts to identify pro-Nazi factions within Irish Republican movement. She also used her psychic activities to support the Allied cause, sending channeled messages from sympathetic spirits to Allied leaders to support the war effort. This included information from Theodore Roosevelt, Arthur Balfour, and Sarah Roosevelt, and who was Franklin D. Roosevelt's mother. In the 1940s and 50s, she worked with psychiatrists to develop a model for using spiritualism to treat mental illness. Ideas she explored in perceptive healing in 1945 and healing the mind in 1957. She collaborated with a psychiatrist who used the pseudonym R. Connell on both books. Their method was for Cummings to read an object associated with the patient and thus identify another child, either childhood traumas or experiences of ancestors preserved as race memory, which have created the problem. Her biography of writer and spiritualist Edith Somerville was published in 1952. Now, when she's doing like biographies and things, remember this is through automatic writing that she's said to have created these. Bear with, just lost my thought. Her biography of writer and spiritualist Edith Somerville was published in 1952. She also wrote The Fate of Colonel Fawcett in 1955, which offered her psychic insights into the disappearance of the explorer Percy Fawcett in Brazil in 1925. Cummins claimed she had received psychic messages from Fawcett in 1936. He was still alive at that time, informing her that he had found relics of Atlantis in the jungle, but was ill. I know why Ben's laughing, because this guy is in Brazil in the jungle, claiming he's found relics of Atlantis. If anyone watched the show on, was it Sunday? Or what day?
Every time I've ever mentioned it.
Oh, yeah, probably Friday, because it was me on Sunday. Yeah, where's Atlantis? It's in Brazil. Anyway, in 1948, she had received a message from Fawcett's spirit reporting his death. Her last book was an account of her conversations with the spirit of Mrs. Willett, the spiritualist name of Winifred Coombe Tennant, Swan on a Black Sea, a study in automatic writing, the Cummins-Willett scripts, in 1965. The automatic writing and alleged channeled material from Cummins have been examined and been described by some psychical researchers to be the product of her own subconscious. For example, Harry Price, who studied various mental mediums, including Cummins, wrote that there is no question that most of the automatic writing which has been published is a product of the subconscious. According to the psychical researcher Eric Dingwall, information published in Cummins' script allegedly from Mrs. Willett was discovered to be wrong. Cummins' book, The Fate of Colonel Fawcett, published in 1955, contained her automated script alleged from the spirit of Colonel Fawcett. Spiritualists have claimed the scripts are evidence for survival. However, the psychical researcher Simeon Edmonds noted that Fawcett, before his disappearance, had written articles for the Occult Review. Cummins also contributed articles to the same review, and Edmonds suggested it is likely she had read the work of Fawcett. Edmonds concluded that the scripts were a case of subliminal memory and unconscious dramatization. Whether she acquired the information from spirits or pulled the information from her unconscious or subconscious, she had a method for automatic writing, which she describes in her book, Swan on a Black Sea. She says that there should be something relevant to the sitter to simulate the desire to communicate. The essential point was to create a stillness in which the mind listened carefully for the words that were to be dictated to it. Sometimes she did an exercise beforehand to will and imagine in order to prepare for contact. If a sitter was present, there should be no talking. General conversation before the session would interfere with the purity of her channel. Occasionally, a blank sitting resulted because her sensitivity was paralyzed in the sitter's subconscious prejudice. So if she can't get any information through, it's the sitter's fault, apparently. Cummins contrasted the speed of her writings, 2,000 words in just over an hour. In her autobiography, she states that her slow, conscious mind could not have invented these impersonations. She described her condition as being dreamy, half asleep, and a mere listener to the words coming through. Cummins always stressed that she was not in a deep trance, except very rarely, and retained consciousness awareness at some level. If at any time she disliked the communicator and or the message, she stopped writing. And you'll remember earlier maybe that I mentioned the name F.W.H. Myers. He was apparently one of the spirits she channeled in her writings. In the early 1920s, Cummins began to produce a lot of writings from Frederick W.H. Myers, a co-founder of the Society for Psychical Research and one of its leading investigators and thinkers, who died in 1901. At this time, Cummins said she had heard of Myers, but knew very little about him. Cummins, in fact, explicitly wrote, "I have not read his books, nor had I met anyone who knew him at the time these scripts were written." Her writings were published in 2 books, The Road to Immortality in 1932 and Beyond Human Personality, 1935. The first book is short and the second more substantial. Both cover the central theme of humankind's progression after death. The averagely descent soul from first inhabits an illusionary world which reassuringly resembles their earthly existence and gradually progresses to higher spiritual levels interspersed by a number of reincarnations. Further stages of spiritual growth may take place on other stars in the solar system and in a psychical form quite unlike their earthly body. Thoroughly nasty individuals are said to quickly reincarnate in disadvantageous situations. Oh, words. Got a picture in, why not? So I've written talking. So here is Frederick William Myers. That's what the gentleman looks like. I like my pictures. Face to a name. And here is Geraldine Cummings as a young woman, circa 1915. Where did it get you? Yeah. So, several of Maya's friends, including Oliver Lodge, testified to a certain resemblance in the vocabulary and style to Maya's writing in life. Maya's widow warmly welcomed the first book and bought copies to give to her friends, but the second book's mystical elements made a number of readers question its origin. Raynor Johnson, parapsychologist, physicist and author, 1901 to 1987, called these scripts foundation sources, or his belief in survival and the nature of life after death. He argued that the speed and fluency of the writing suggested an external control, and that Maya's character and style, as evidenced in scripts, was yet another example of Cummings' ability to accurately reproduce the character and style of discarnate communicators whom she had never met. Two specific concepts mentioned in the book, the idea of the group soul and the nature of the etheric body after death, were well and fluently expressed by Myers through Cummings. However, they might well have been drawn from early theosophical and spiritualist literature, which Cummings would have known through her reading of the periodical Occult Review. So now, again, this other person, seems like the people that are most famous for the automatic writing. I'm not saying they're occultologists. I'm just saying that the people that seem to be most famous for it are also people that seem to get a bit more questioned. Probably because they are more famous, people are more likely to analyze their work to see, is it true? Is it false? Are they actually communicating with spirits, or are they just drawing on unconscious memory? Yeah. On the topic of automatic writing and its difficulties, the spirit of Myers says, through Cummings, this is what was written when he gave her the information. She was doing the automatic writing, he was speaking to her. The inner mind is very difficult to deal with from this side. I'm going to sneeze. Don't sneeze. We impress it with our message, but never impress the brain of the medium directly. This is out of the question, for the inner mind receives our message and sends it to the brain. The brain is a mere mechanism. The inner mind is like soft wax. It receives our thoughts, their whole context. What have I written there? It's like I've written two words together as one, and it's not actually a word. Sorry, guys. Receives our thought, their whole context, but it must produce the words that clothe it. This is what makes cross-correspondence so very difficult. We may succeed in sending the thought through, but the actual words depend largely on the inner mind's content, on what words will frame the thought. So that's apparently a spirit's point of view on communicating with a medium. We have got comments. What I missed. Okay. Oh gosh, my nose is tickling again. And if they are communicating with spirits, how many of them come across tricksters? Oh, for a laugh happens sometimes. Yeah. To prove or disprove either way. It is very true. And hi, Emmy. Right. So yeah, that's what the spirit said. So back to us on this side. So yeah, so I'm just going to go on and try it yourself. Normally when you try, the movements of the pen will be small. You don't want to try and force it, as this is more likely to block it from happening. Strong movements are a good sign and will show that you have completely relaxed. Apparently a tingling in your arm or hand is a good sign too. Got to that one. I'm sure I read somewhere that a young girl used to draw whilst in sleep state, but couldn't when she was fully awake. Again, forgot her name. Don't worry. It's interesting to know. Can always have a little Google, see if anything comes up. It is very unlikely that the writing that is produced is neat and easy to read, and it's not unheard of for the writing to come out backwards.
Not hide.
What?
You said not hide.
Not heard of. Did I? It's because my nose is tickling like a bit of sneeze. It's very distracting and I can't apparently speak. Yeah, it's not unheard of for the writing to come out backwards. Don't bully me. So there are two types of automatic writing. The first that we've been looking at, a direct motor control of the writing instrument used by the unconscious mind. The second is a mental dictation. This is where the person hears the words as though they are spoken. Okay, so the first one is where like the spirit's controlling the arm we've been talking about. They've been doing the writing through. The second one, where you're doing the writing, but the person, the medium, whoever hears it, hears the words as though they're spoken. So it's like Ben here talking to me. So I'd hear him and I'd just write down what he says. Or receives them strongly in the conscious mind and writes them down as someone would as if they were being dictated to. If anyone's seen Cindy Kaiser on the Holzer files, it looks like this is more the type of automatic writing that she uses. Crowley also used this form of automatic writing for one of his books, but we don't talk about him. Nope. So that's enough. Then there is automatic drawing. This follows the same principles as the automatic writing we have been focusing on, where the subconscious or spirit takes over. And what I would suggest is try and get yourself into more of a meditative state, light some candles or incense, play some relaxing music, dim the lights, whatever, to just get yourself nice and relaxed. Also set a timer or ask someone to bring you out of it after a certain amount of time, or otherwise you could easily lose track of the time. And if you do have a go, feel free to share it with us here at the other dimension, even if it doesn't make sense. It's always nice to share your experiments, share the results, see what happens. We'd be interested to know. Tell us about your whole experience even. Yeah. Kate says, have you and or Ben tried automatic writing or similar? Any results? Yeah, I've tried it a couple of times, but I find it really hard to relax because the only times I've actually done it is when I've been with a group of people and I'm far too self-conscious to get myself properly relaxed. So nothing really happened for me then. Was going to actually do one last night, but I had a migraine, so that just went out the window. But I will be doing one at some point.
We did it once with Jack on first time we did.
I didn't do it.
You did the pen shirt with the pen through.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that time. Yeah, that's kind of like two people that went to. Yeah. But God. Yeah, I do want to try it more. So many things I want to try more. It says every time I tried automatic drawing with you, etc., and instead start having words come through. Yeah, that's fine. See what happens. Drawings, words, however it's the message is given to you. I suppose it's given to you, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not going to do a live demonstration because nothing will happen because I'll be under pressure. But I will have a go. I might actually set up like a camera just to watch myself. That'd be a good thing to do, actually, guys. You don't have to share this with us, but set yourself up a camera like this on a tripod, whatever. Record yourself as you do it, and then you can watch back and see what happens. Because if you do go into like a proper trance and you do feel words coming through, have a look at the room so you can see what's actually gone off afterwards. Might do that. Yeah, what we're saying. Oh, got a little comment here. We've got Lisa here. Gosh, we've tried it with a couple of groups with a planchette with a pen attached, but it didn't yield anything superior. I've tried the drawing, but I've never been able to do it. there's an artist I know that does do it with paintings though, and he's really fascinating. That'd be cool. Yeah, Damon, he's still on. Is Damon still on? Because tomorrow, me and Ben are making our way to Wilderhope Manor. Because we are going there for the weekend with quite a lot of friends, and it should be a good weekend. So yeah, we're going to be traveling at the time of the show. Yeah, hopefully we'll be getting there pretty soon. Hello. Oh, Pub's just walked straight up and he's just staring at me now. Oh, oh wow. Can do it with it ruins. Not with English. Oh dear. Yeah, so don't know what. Yeah. For tomorrow's show, not sure what's going off, to be fair. I'm asking if Damon's still on. If he wants to do the show, or we'll just see what happens. If something comes up, something comes up on the live.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, if nothing happens, well, you kind of know. Oh, Leslie says, really looking forward to meeting you both. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Oh, Lacey says, interesting. I read runes. How do you think would be a good way to do it? Right, somewhere in the library on this of the videos, I did do a rune divination one where I went through sort of like the common ways of doing it. Yeah, see if I can find it. It'll be somewhere in there. I don't know how easy it is. I should actually know how easy it is to search, but I don't know how easy it is to search for the videos. But yeah. Does Andy Moore do automatic drawings with his readings? Andy is a psychic artist. So when he's communicating with the spirit, he'll just draw what he sees there, which is really cool. I'll have to look for it. Yeah, if you can't find it, just pop a message on the page and I'll try and find it for you. Janet says, hope it all goes well with it. I've had a look to purchase one but can't find them. Do you mean the planchette with the pen through, Janet? More for events. I'm gonna try it. Yeah. And then Sunday. Are you doing a show on Sunday?
I'm not sure.
Ben's not sure if he's doing a show on Sunday. We'll just see how the weekend goes.
I've just reposted your video of your rune one.
Oh, there we go. Ben says he's just reposted the rune divination video.
Yeah.
So, yeah, have a look at that if you want. Hopefully.
It's on the page. I'll post it on this group once it's finished. Once you finish the show.
Okay. Ben's going to put it, are you putting it in the chat? Like a link to it in the chat. Is that what you mean? What are you saying, honey?
I'm just going to repost it to the page.
Okay, it's going to repost it.
Sorry, guys. Just fresh back from work. So
yeah. Ben's literally got home from work, was about to go and jump in the bath, and then said, oh, yeah, I'll come and sit with you while you do live. Depends which first art, what material works for you, and whether you're interpreting based on your personal standing of the runes or the official guides.
Yeah.
Ben says he's reposted. These are good. Oh yeah, all about the things. The planchette with the pen. Thank you. Have a great time. What's my t-shirt? Oh, there I've gone from red to purple. Right, hang on. Can we see it? It's kind of camera's at an angle. Right, this is my t-shirt. It's from when I went to Pendle HD weekend, and this has been printed by Pentagraphics. Yeah. So it's got, so it says Zero Escapes in the middle. It has got the names around the outside of the witches who were tried and executed. And then it's got what are signs of the zodiac scattered around bits and bobs. So yeah, that's that. check out Pentagraphics, guys. Awesome t-shirts, great prices. Available on Etsy. Based in the UK as well. Oh, thanks, Ben. You're a star. I'll check it out. Sweet's very helpful. That's what I say. The meanings are multifaceted. Well, God, multifaceted to begin with for each and context. Thanks, it's really cool. Yeah, I like it. That's cool too. Yeah. I have wooden runes, but don't work well with stone. Gemstones give very clear, but reactive readings. Someone else might react differently to each. True. Yeah. So, what we got then next week? Yeah, next week not doing divination because it is Witch's Closet, so that'll be good. Be looking forward to that. Yeah. Anything else to add? I think we're about done. Anybody else got any questions? Anything that's on your minds? Yeah. Hope you enjoyed it anyway. I enjoyed reading about it. Yeah, it's always interesting reading about these different things and going into history. And I think I got distracted by some bits going off on the whole thing about these people, but I like looking at the stories of people of the past. I find them quite interesting. Have done channeling with prop and pen and paper to get a rune reading from a spirit wanting to pass a message on. Have a great weekend. Thank you. I can't wait. I'm so looking forward to it. It's gonna be really good. Great. So thanks again. Thanks. Interesting topic. Interesting. Very interesting. Would not suggest someone recreate it. The paper's natural channels for energy is bothered by how it's being processed. So, yeah. Hope everyone else has a good weekend. Yeah, whatever you're doing. Hope everyone has fun. I don't know if Jeanette will be going out exploring somewhere with Kev. She's always welcome to post up on the page. You know she is. Don't do it. Yeah. Oh, crap. Thanks for all the insight again and take care. Right then, so I'm going to say goodbye and yeah, look out for random lives going off over the weekend. Thank you. I hope you're both well and happy. We are. So then, yeah, see you at some point. Thank you everybody for joining me. Bye bye.